and welcome back to Friday Reads, where we help you find your next read. I'm Jill.
And I'm Julie, and if you were with us last week, you know we featured some fiction books that were new to our collection in this past spring. And so today we're switching to nonfiction books that were new to our collection in March, April, May. So turn it over to Jill for her first pick.
My first pick is Sweet Land of Liberty, A History of America in 11 Pies, which feels kind of good with the upcoming 4th of July. Because, of course, apple pie is in here. This is by Rossi Anastopolo. I'm probably murdering that title, that author's name. This is a delicious and delightful narrative history of pie in America from the colonial era through the civil rights movement and beyond. From the pumpkin pie gracing the Thanksgiving table to the apple pie at the 4th of July picnic, every American shares a certain nostalgia for a simple circle of crust and filling. But America's history with pie has not always been sweet. After all, it was a slice of cherry pie at the Woolworth's lunch counter on the cool February afternoon that helped spark the Greensboro sit-ins and ignited a wave of anti-segregation protests across the South during the civil rights movement. Molasses pie, meanwhile, captures the legacies of racial trauma and oppression passed down from America's history of slavery. And Jello pie exemplifies the pressures and contradictions, the gender roles in an evolving and modern society. We all know the warm comfort of a so-called all-American apple pie, but just how did the pie become the symbol of the nation? In the Sweet Land of History, America in 11 Pies, food writer Rossi Anastopolo cracks open our relationship to pie with wit and good humor. For centuries, pie has been a malleable icon co-opted for the new social and political purposes. Here, Anastopolo traces the pies woven into our history following the evolution of our country across centuries of innovation and change. With corresponding recipes for each chapter and sidebars of quirky facts throughout, Sweet Land of Liberty is an entertaining, informative, and utterly charming food history for bakers, dessert lovers, and history aficionados. So if you want to learn about pie and the history of America a little bit, this is the book for you.
My first pick comes from Kristen Chenoweth, and this is I'm no philosopher, but I got thoughts, mini meditations for saints, sinners, and the rest of us. It's an inspiring, high-design, colorful book featuring philosophical-ish musics on connection, creativity, loss, love, faith, and closure. Just like Kristen's grandmother inspired her to trust her heart and develop her own belief system, you'll be inspired to develop your own life philosophies as you journey through some of her most vulnerable and humorous personal stories in her constant pursuit to make the most out of life. In each chapter, you'll find behind-the-scenes stories from Kristen's personal life, colorful pages of inspirational quotes, engaging prompts, prayers, and inspiring quotes. Oh, and there's a warning with this book. There will be Bible verses, and there will be F-bombs, so read responsibly. It's the perfect book to pick up on days when you need an extra shot of encouragement, a little laughter, and a gentle reminder that kindness can take you a long way. It's a great book for fans of her. She's known for her Emmy-winning role in the ABC hit Pushing Daisies and her Broadway role in Wicked. I recently watched her in Schmigadoon and thought she was great in that. So if you're a fan of Kristen Chenoweth, check out I'm no philosopher, but I got thoughts.
Pushing Daisy is a very underrated show.
Oh, Tim and I love that show.
My next one is The Best Strangers in the World by Ari Shapiro. From the beloved host of NPR's All Things Considered, a stirring memoir in essays that is also a love letter to journalism. In his first book, broadcaster Ari Shapiro takes us around the globe to reveal stories behind the narratives that are sometimes heartwarming, sometimes heartbreaking, but always poignant. He details his time traveling on Air Force One with President Obama, or following the path of Syrian refugees fleeing war, or learning from those fighting for social justice both at home and abroad. As the self-enforcing bubbles we live in become more impenetrable, Ari Shapiro keeps seeking ways to help people listen to one another, to find connection and community with those who seem different, to remind us that before religion or nationality or politics, we are all human. The Best Strangers in the World is a testament to one journalist's passion for considering all things and sharing what he finds with the rest of us. So, sounds like a little bit of an adventure on this one.
Yeah. Also have a bit of an adventure in my next pick. This is in our Wisconsin collection in the nonfiction section. And this is Letters from Clara, One Intrepid Woman's Travels on the Eve of War, 1936 to 1939. This is by Janet Newman. It's a unique collection of letters from a member of the YWCA on her first world tour in the 1930s, and it tells her story of adventure and danger on the eve of World War II. Despite limited financial means, Clara Pagel was richly resourceful and used the YWCA network to find work and places to live in the Far East, along the way meeting other women also working their way around the world. As Clara described in letters to her YWCA friends back home, her journey was filled with museums and world-famous landmarks, as well as typhoons, bombings, and earthquakes. These experiences are described in over 100 pages of letters annotated throughout by Janet Newman. Upon Clara's return to the United States in 1939, she enrolled at the University of Chicago and she earned an MBA at the age of 46. This is a story of this remarkable woman on an unexpected but fulfilling journey to learn about the world and a little bit more about herself. So check out Letters from Clara in our Wisconsin section.
My next one is kind of a thick book. It's kind of heavy here. It's The Rediscovery of America, Native Peoples, and the Unmaking of U.S. History by Ned Blackhawk. The most enduring feature of U.S. history is the presence of Native Americans. Yet most histories focus on Europeans and their descendants. The long practice of ignoring indigenous history is changing. Ned Blackhawk interweaves 5 centuries of Native and non-Native histories, from Spanish colonial exploration to the rise of Native American self-determination in the late 20th century. In this transformative synthesis, he shows that European colonization in the 1600s was never a predetermined success. The first shots of the American Revolution were prompted by Indian affairs in the interior. California Indians targeted by federally funded militias were among the first casualties of the Civil War. The Union victory forever recalibrated Native communities across the West. 20th century reservation activists refashioned American law and policy. Blackhawk's retelling of U.S. history acknowledges the enduring power, agency, and survival of indigenous peoples, yielding a truer account of the United States and revealing anew the varied meanings of America. So, yeah, the rediscovery of America from Native Americans' point of view.
Well, my third pick goes along with our summer reading theme. You all know we're at Camp Read some more here at the Kimberly Library. So my third pick is See You at the Campground, a guide to discovering community connection and a happier family in the great outdoors by Stephanie and Jeremy Puglisi. It's a family-friendly guide for camping with kids and infants because the best memories are the ones made around the campfire. Road trips with kids aren't always easy, but new parents of twins, the authors became experts at creating lasting family memories without breaking the bank. Whether you're new to camping or a seasoned pro, hit the road with these authors. They're the hosts of the popular The RV Atlas podcast, and they'll show you different ways that camping can lead to a happier, healthier family. From hiking with infants to navigating RV camping in state parks and camping in national parks, these outdoor lovers have tried it all. See You at the Campground is a beautifully illustrated camping book for adults packed with personal anecdotes, packing lists, site recommendations, and recipes that will help you create a one-of-a-kind vacation on that family-friendly budget. It's a great resource for parents and a great gift for campers at any level. It's the ultimate family vacation book to bring the family closer every time you set up camp, whether it's in a cabin, a tent, or your RV. So check out See You at the Campground.
I feel like that's like a necessary book for some people.
Yeah, I do too, especially if they've got all these great tips in there.
Yeah, how to camp with your family. And will help you decide where to go with your family. Wisconsin Waters, The Ancient History of Lakes, Rivers, and Waterfalls by Scott Spoolman. Every Wisconsin waterway has history, from the Great Lakes and the mighty Mississippi to thousands of interior lakes, rivers, and trout streams. Wisconsin Waters takes readers on an epic tour of the geological, natural, and human stories that have shaped these aquatic landscapes over millions of years. Scott Spoolman journeys the distant past to examine the origins of Wisconsin's lake, rivers, waterfalls, and wetlands. In his accessible storytelling style, Spoolman details the natural forces, volcanic eruptions, ancient seas, erosion, glaciers, and more that created these bodies of water and resulting habitats for the state's flora, fauna, and early peoples. More than a geology or natural history book, Wisconsin Water invites readers to visit the waterways in 4 regions of the state, where they can view the modern-day evidence of how they were formed. 19 travel guides suggest ways to explore a selection of Wisconsin waterscapes, provide a better understanding of the land's history that will enhance readers' enjoyment, and of the appreciating of our freshwater resources. So, a place to go.
More places to explore.
Yeah.
My next one is for those of you who are interested in maybe pursuing a new art. I've got Wildflower Watercolor, the Beginner's Guide to Painting Beautiful Florals. So this has 30 beautiful watercolor projects in it, and you can immerse yourself in the world of watercolor. It's an essential comprehensive guide for beginner painters to learn how to create perfect floral masterpieces. It's got easy to follow instructions and step-by-step illustrations. So according to the book, it's never been easier to master the art of watercolor painting. You'll find everything you need to get started, including how to mix your colors, create striking new shades, how to make various types of brush strokes, and more. So it's got 30 different projects you can choose from. There's wild herbs such as lavender and chamomile, and then there's gorgeous flowers in here like poppies, buttercups, forget-me-nots. So you can choose which type of flower or herb you would like to work on. With just a brush, some paint, and a little bit of water, you can take the world's floral beauty to the page. So it's really pretty book. So this book intrigues me. I'm not a painter, but
I would love
someday I may give it a shot.
Maybe when I'm done working at the library. So my next one I'm kind of excited about because I am big on pollinator gardens and stuff. What a Bee Knows, Exploring the Thoughts, Memories, and Personalities of Bees by Stephen Buckman. For many of us, the buzzing of a bee elicits panic, but the next time you hear the low droning sign, look closer. The bee has navigated to this particular spot for a reason, using a fascinating set of tools. She may be using her sensory olfactory organs, which provide 3D scent map of her surroundings. She may be following visual landmarks or instructions relayed by a hive mate. She may even be tracking electrostatic traces left on flowers by other bees. What a Bee Knows, Exploring the Thoughts, Memories, and Personalities of Bees invites us to follow bees' mysterious past and experience their alien world. Although their brains are incredibly small, just 1 million neurons compared to humans' 100 billion, bees have a remarkable abilities to navigate, learn, communicate, and remember. In What a Bee Knows, entomologist Stephen Buckman explores a bee's way of seeing the world and introduces scientists who make the journey possible. We travel in the field and to the laboratories of noted bee biologists who have spent their careers digging into questions most of us never thought to ask, like, do bees dream? And if so, why? With each discovery, Buckman's insatiable curiosity and sense of wonder is infectious. So if you want to figure out what a bee knows and what goes through their little tiny brains, this is the book for you.
Last pick is Adventures in Veggieland. Help your kids learn to love vegetables by Melanie Potok. Yes, kids can love vegetables and have fun doing it. Her program is simple and it's a fun 3-step process. It has 3 E's. First, expose your child to new vegetables with sensory, hands-on, and educational activities. For example, she makes beet tattoos. Then you're going to explore the characteristics of each veggie, its texture, its taste, temperature, and more. And then you're going to expand your family's repertoire with more inventive vegetable dishes, including a sweet treat with every chapter. Give peas a chance cake.
Give peas a chance.
So, expose your child to new vegetables, explore the characteristics, and expand your family's repertoire. Those are her 3 E's. The book features 20 vegetables divided into 4 seasons, which is kind of nice. And in addition to the easy-to-follow activities and recipes, the author offers bite-sized advice on kitchen science and parenting in the kitchen. So she's got a new method to get your kids interested in vegetables. And there are some unique ideas in here, but it looks like a lot of fun. So she's even got kids making a house out of asparagus. So.
House of asparagus.
It's got very cute ideas in here, so...
Well, we hope we helped introduce you to some of our new books in nonfiction that came to us this spring.
Yeah, we've always got new books being added to the collection, and we realized we kind of missed some of them this spring as things were coming out. Thank you for watching our videos. We know you've been watching on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel. And until next time, we'll see you again. Thanks. Bye.